hello everyone, and welcome to ProLine, direct from Las Vegas. It's week 2 of the NFL preseason. I'm John Cranton, joined by a pair of longtime Las Vegas handicappers, Joe D'Amico and Jim Feist. We're going to take a look at 3 NFL games: Eagles, Patriots, Packers, Rams, Broncos, 49ers. Plus, we're going to examine what's been going on with NFL totals from week 1. First off, Joe D'Amico, thanks for joining us. I know you've been examining betting lines and the Las Vegas sports books for well over a decade.
Oh, yeah. I came out here 25 years ago. I actually managed 2 different racing sports books, got into the business. I actually was mentored by Jim himself, which, he is the icon of this industry. He is the Yankees of this industry. There's no second best in this industry. And got into it, did very well with it. And because of the mentoring and the tutelage that I received from Jim, achieved and maintained the status that I've gotten right now.
All right, very good. Jimmy, you grew up in Yankees.
Thank you very much, Joe. That's very nice. Well, welcome aboard, and thank you for the nice compliments. You've been here 25 years. I've been here about 50. 45, I think, to be exact. But it's been a long time. We've seen a lot of growth, and I'm glad you're doing well. And you were a little bit sick earlier this year, and I'm glad you bounced back, and you're almost 100%.
Yes, I am. I went through an unfortunate incident, a health incident, but I was in good shape going into it. I'm back at 100%. I'm looking forward to a wonderful season. It's going to be the best season we've ever had, and I'm glad to be a part of what we're doing here today. So I think it's a great way to kick off the season.
All right. Before we get to our games, let's let everyone know what we have going on this weekend. Jim, last preseason, a year ago, you were 7-4 with these high roller releases, 65%. Week 1 of the NFL, you had an inner circle high-end play on the Seahawks. Didn't quite get there, but then you bounced back on Saturday, either an undefeated 3-0 or 2-0-1 Saturday. You had the Steelers-Giants under. You had another inner circle release, this time on the Titans. You had a big play on the Cleveland Browns. And you have more big plays that are already up and available this week.
Well, as I said before, John, to all the listeners out there, the preseason is all about coaching, offensive, defensive coaches, head coaches, and what their plans are. Sometimes it doesn't work out the way they say it's going to work out, but if you stay on top of it, you can hit a pretty good winning percentage, and that's what we've been able to do over the years. This week I have a big high-end total going. It kicks off this weekend, and you just come to jimfeist.com. And it's available right there each and every day.
All right, and Joe, you're on a 10-5 run in August football preseason. I remember a stretch a year ago in football during the regular season, a hot stretch for you that didn't last for a few weeks, but actually lasted for several months.
Yes, I was very fortunate last year. We were riding a great streak. I'm going to carry that into this season. As you said, 10-5. Last year, preseason, had a great preseason, 28-10. Documented right now, 3-0, but on big games this Saturday, something huge. I have a 3-game discounted guaranteed package. Sunday's late game between K-State and Carolina, one of the biggest games I've seen in any preseason of the last decade. Everybody go to jimfeist.com, and trust me, if you don't take advantage of these winners, you're going to hate yourself come Monday.
Okay, we're going to start. We're going to start also reminding you that Mr. Vegas, 31-20 with NFL totals the entire last year in the NFL, 61%. He has his preseason total of the year going this weekend. That is also available at jimfeist.com. All right, we're going to start, guys, with our Twitter question of the week. This is how you out there can get involved. You can ask Jim and anyone on the panel a question just by going to Twitter at Jim Feist Sports or go to Facebook at ProLine TV. If we use your question, you'll be putting it into a drawing to win $100 a place from any handicapper of your choice at jimfeist.com. Bill Brandeis of Stamford, Connecticut asks, totals went under in week 1, 12-4, while penalties went over. What the hell is going on? So, Jim, what is going on with these totals?
Well, first of all, thanks for the question. We really appreciate these kind of questions, Bill. Last year, most of the games early went over the total. There was a big offensive push. The odds makers have made some adjustments to that where the lines, they've boosted the lines 1 or 2 points. And that can be significant. The way it looked like, from last year, it didn't look like 1 or 2 points would be significant because the games were flying over the total. But this year, that's not the case. Now, you mentioned the officials and the number of penalties, and that could very well have an impact on totals as well because it kills the flow of the game. I think the Seattle coach mentioned that in the Denver-Seattle game. There were so many penalties, they couldn't get into the flow of the game. And I think affecting play right now. The NFL keeps making changes to the rules, some good and some not so good, and they're trying to help the offense as well. The defenses everybody's confused, including the officials. A lot of penalties, killing the flow of the game. And I think the odds makers made some adjustments. They made some adjustments in the totals. It's going to change. I do believe you're going to start to see some more overs as these offenses begin to open it up.
Well, Joe, any thoughts on this? Are the odds makers asleep, or is this just an anomaly?
Well, the odds makers, the beginning of the season, there are some situations you could take advantage of here and there. I do think the first week after watching all the games, I agree with Jim. The referees did slow a lot of the pace down. A lot of big plays got called back, and had a huge effect on the totals. I worry about one thing this week is that the referees may overcompensate and look at it as, wow, let's let a lot of stuff go this week. Last week we flubbed. It was the first time people have been watching football in 7 months. So let's let a few things go. So I'm worried that they might be a little overcompensating this week. I don't know. Time will tell. But certainly the first week, I think the referees had an enormous effect on the outcomes of the game.
Yeah, Jim mentioned last week some overs. That was the case in week 1 of preseason a year ago, 11-5 over the total. But it was only 8-8 in week 2. And if you want to go back 2 years, in week 2 of preseason 2 years ago, 14-2 over the total. But the next 2 weeks, weeks 3 and 4, 9-7 over, and then 9-7 under, dead even. So, odds makers do make adjustments. And remember, they're very much aware of the numbers and the trends as we are.